How Sammy Met Andee. Verse 1, Scene 1. Samuel cursed as another bullet ripped past him and tore into a nearby tree, sending splinters dancing across his raised arm.
"God damn, Nelson, you said this was gonna be quiet,"
He hissed into the radio while dropping to his knees to slide under a low branch.
"Watch your tongue, Wurlitz, or I'll take it from you."
The female's voice thundered through the speaker.
"You volunteered. You knew what you were getting into. I thought I'd be fighting off a few squirrelies at most, not a whole goddamn blue base,"
the rebel fired back before he quickly grabbed a thick vine with his free hand. With the momentum of his sprint, he swung himself upward, then snagged a higher branch and pulled himself into the tree while ignoring the bolt of fear. He just managed to catch the vine with the end of his tail so it didn't swing back down toward the soldier that huffed past a few seconds later. Samuel scowled and shoved the radio against his chest to muffle Nelson's growling response, waiting for another 2 soldiers to stomp through the underbrush below before pulling the communicator cautiously away and turning the volume as low as it would go.
All right, I'm done bitching,"
he grunted in a whisper, eyes still skimming the jungle floor.
"If it were that easy,"
Nelson replied soberly.
"We need to get off the air. Where are you?"
"Where do you think I am?" he grumbled. "About 10 feet off the ground in the middle of Lacton, sweating my ass off trying to find a secret village full of creatures ain't even supposed to exist."
"And you haven't pissed yourself? Incredible. Again, this was your choice,"
she retorted, before smoothly cutting off his reply.
"Keep heading toward Lake Cranon. Your backwards childhood should give you an advantage finding the markers of their territory."
Samuel huffed, accepting the pang that stabbed gently into his heart. "You sound just like him." For a few seconds, the radio was silent. Samuel wondered if it was a line too far. But then Nelson's voice came through again, her rough, gravelly tone uncharacteristically gentle.
"He visited these people a few times in his travels. You might be able to gain a bit of favor by mentioning his name. Now go, and for fuck's sake don't lose the radio again."
"I'll be sure to set up a nice little pedestal for it as I'm bleeding out and dying so you can get it back," Samuel answered cheekily, before switching off the radio with another soft huff. He could still hear the blues scouring the jungle, but no others were audible from the direction of the base, hopefully leaving only the trio to contend with. Samuel shrugged. He'd dealt with worse odds. If he could handle a few minutes in a tree without passing out, what were 3 soldiers? With a grunt, he dropped back out of the tree, and then glanced up at the sunlight struggling to trickle past the leaves. Even more fortunate, the heavy tromping was fading into a direction opposite of where he needed to go. He smiled to himself, and then started a brisk jog on a rough bearing toward the lake. Maybe this wouldn't be so bad after all.